Jonathan Cross was a man who had forgotten the value of small things. At 58, he was worth over $3 billion, owned private jets, luxury hotels, tech companies, and entire city blocks. His name appeared in financial magazines, his face on business news, and his signature moved markets. Yet despite all of that, Jonathan Cross was deeply, painfully empty. On this particular evening, Jonathan sat alone in a quiet, upscale restaurant on the outskirts of the city. Not one of his usual five-star places. Not one of the restaurants that knew his name and rushed to impress him. No, this place was modest, calm, almost invisible. He didn't come here for the food. He came here because he didn't want to be recognized. Jonathan stared at his untouched steak, his thoughts louder than the soft jazz playing in the background. Another day, another deal, another meaningless victory. His phone buzzed. A message from his lawyer. Another from his assistant. Another reminder of a life that demanded everything and gave nothing back. He sighed. "Sir, is everything okay with your meal?" Jonathan looked up. The waitress. She was young, maybe late 20s. Tired eyes. A forced smile. Her uniform slightly worn. Her hair pulled back neatly, as if she still cared, even though life clearly hadn't been kind to her. "Yes," Jonathan replied flatly. "It's fine." She nodded politely. "My name is Emily, if you need anything." Jonathan barely noticed. To him, she was just another background character in a world where only he mattered. Emily Carter had been on her feet for 11 hours straight. Her back ached. Her legs trembled. Her heart felt heavier than her body. She worked double shifts 6 days a week, not because she wanted to, but because she had to. At home waited a sick mother who needed daily medication. A 9-year-old son, Noah, who pretended not to notice how tired she was. Rent that was already 2 weeks late. Emily hadn't eaten properly all day. Still, she smiled. Because that's what waitresses do. She noticed the man at table 7, Jonathan, from the moment he walked in. Not because she knew he was a billionaire, but because he looked lost. He wasn't rude. He wasn't demanding. Just distant. As Emily cleared his plates, she noticed something strange. A thick stack of cash lay partially exposed beneath the receipt folder. She froze. She didn't count it. She didn't need to. Anyone could tell it was thousands of dollars. Her breath caught. For a brief, dangerous moment, her mind raced. That money could fix everything. Her mother's medication, her rent, her son's school supplies, the electricity bill, the overdraft fees. No one was watching. No one would know. Her hands trembled. Jonathan stood up. He put on his coat, answered a phone call, and walked out. Just like that, he forgot the money. Emily stood there, staring at the table. $5,000. Sitting silently, waiting. Her heart pounded so hard she thought she might faint. She looked around. The restaurant was nearly empty. The cashier was busy. The cook was in the back. This could change everything, her mind whispered. She picked up the receipt folder. Her fingers brushed the cash. And then, she remembered her son's voice from that morning. "Mom, even if we're poor, we're still good people. Right?" Tears filled her eyes. Emily closed the folder. "No," she whispered. "This isn't mine." She ran. Out the door. Into the cold night. Jonathan was already halfway across the parking lot when he heard footsteps behind him. "Sir, sir, please wait." He turned. The waitress, breathing hard, hair slightly loose, eyes wide. She held out the folder. "You forgot this." Jonathan frowned. "What is it?" "You left your money on the table." He opened it and froze. $5,000. Exactly where he'd left it. Jonathan looked at Emily slowly. "You could have kept this." Emily swallowed. "I know. Why didn't you?" Her voice shook. "Because I wouldn't be able to look at myself again." Something inside Jonathan cracked. For the first time in years, he felt ashamed. Jonathan studied her. "What's your name?" "Emily." He pulled out one bill. $100, he said. "Take it." Emily stepped back. "That's not a tip. That's charity." Jonathan raised an eyebrow. Isn't that what you need? Her eyes burned. I need dignity. Silence. Then Jonathan smiled. A real smile. You just passed a test you didn't know you were taking. Emily looked confused. What? Jonathan folded the money. Come to this address tomorrow at 9 a.m. He handed her a card. Or don't. Your choice. Then he walked away, leaving Emily in the parking lot, holding a business card that would change her life. Emily didn't sleep that night. She stared at the card over and over. J. Cross Enterprises. She Googled the name. Her blood ran cold. Billionaire. Investor. Philanthropist. Her first instinct was fear. Did I do something wrong? But at 8:45 a.m., she stood outside a glass tower downtown. At 9 o'clock sharp, the doors opened. Jonathan waited inside a private conference room. Sit, he said kindly. Emily sat. I grew up poor, Jonathan began. Very poor. And I lost my morals when I got rich. Emily listened silently. You reminded me of who I used to be. He slid a folder across the table. Inside, a job offer, full benefits, paid education, medical coverage for her mother. Emily gasped. I don't understand. Jonathan leaned forward. I'm building a foundation to find people with integrity, not degrees. Tears streamed down her face. But why me? Because you chose honesty when no one was watching. 6 months later, Jonathan sat in the same restaurant. Same table. Same quiet music. But this time the restaurant was full. News cameras outside. A banner on the wall. Carter Community Kitchen. Funded by J. Cross Foundation. Emily stood beside Jonathan, no longer a waitress. She was the director. Jonathan turned to her. You didn't just return money that night, he said softly. You returned my soul. Emily smiled. And you didn't just change my life. You changed hundreds. Sometimes it's not the money that reveals who we are. It's what we do when money tempts us. Because the smallest decision, made in silence, can echo louder than a lifetime of wealth.